Hey, this is our first video drop-in story for our email monthly newsletter that we've been doing for a while, and something new. And so I just wanted to show you how to be a little bit more prepared when you go to the range. Some of us don't have a lot of time, so I just wanted to share some thoughts with you of things that have worked for me in the past and that I thought I would share with you and pass along that could help you maximize your time as well as maximize your use of ammo. So let me open the top of the bag and I'll show you what's in the top. This bag that I'm using, by the way, is a Glock 4 pistol bag. I've had it a while. It's about wore out. Zippers are starting to break, but I've gotten really good use out of it. Just bear in mind, there's no way I could get 4 pistols packed in this bag the way I have it packed. I never go to the range without a plan, and just so happens my bag is packed for a range outing this Sunday. This happens to be with a person who needs to qualify with the SIG 226, who's currently in the military. So that's the plan that we're working with this individual. It's a little bit more detailed than most, but this person has a lot of experience. And then after I finish my lesson, I've got some practice I need to do with my Glock 30 and my Glock 34, getting ready for a Glock match. Down here at the bottom, I always treat myself to shooting the pig after I'm finished. And just bear in mind, that's a pig silhouette made of steel set out at 94 yards. So I never go to the range without a plan. This helps me maximize my time and certainly helps me maximize my use of ammunition. I always go to the range with a squib rod, easy for some to say, not for me. Although it's never happened to me, I have seen guys who have had squib loads, and just for your information, a squib load is a round that has been fired but did not leave the barrel, so it's still in the barrel. Usually it's caused by an undercharged cartridge, and so it's extremely dangerous. There's always a distinct sound when this happens. You can always tell when it happens, especially if you're the shooter. You'll feel it in the lack of recoil, but you'll know, and it's important that you immediately put the gun down and begin to use this rod after you've broken the gun down to dislodge that stuck round. Also have hearing protection. This is a set of Caldwell electronic muffs that I've had for, I don't know, 5 or 6 years. Fairly inexpensive, $25, $28. I got it cheaper than dirt, and these have worked very good for me. Almost a must-have if you spend a lot of time on the range. Gotta have ammo, and since I eat a lot of peanut butter, I put my used peanut butter jars to good use. And here you have, I always mark, I don't know, it's probably not necessary, but I like to mark on the jars where the 100 round mark is and where the 150 round mark is. So we've got that. I've got some 45 ACP. Luckily I've got a couple more boxes in the truck. And then we get to the guns. I never transport my guns loaded. I just don't do it. The only gun I transport loaded is the one that I'm carrying. And this happens to be a SIG 226. And since I am doing a lesson with a member of the U.S. military, and this person needs to qualify with this gun later this year, this is one of the guns that is going to the range with us. So it's a great gun, great shooting gun. This gun really shoots well. I'm also using my Glock 34 at the range after the lesson, and quite possibly one of my favorite guns. You can see the gun is unloaded. This is a great shooting gun if you are thinking about shooting competitions, either IDPA or USPSA. This is a great gun to start with. Fairly inexpensive, and it shoots great. I love it. Magazines. Here's my Glock 9mm magazines. I always number my magazines with the caliber and then the number of magazine. This helps me if I have a problem during a match or during a shooting session. This helps me identify whether it's magazine related or whether it's gun related. Sometimes it can be shooter induced, but 9 times out of 10 it's going to be magazine related, shooter induced, or gun related. The reason I number them is because I have Glock handguns in several different calibers. This is a Glock 40 caliber magazine for my Glock 22, and it looks identical to the Glock 9mm magazine. The only difference is it says 40 versus the 9mm magazine that says 9mm. So I like to make sure that I don't make errors. I've been with guys who have brought the wrong magazines to a match, and that makes for a bad day. So let me open the front and I'll show you what's in the front. I'm actually reshooting the front part of the bag portion of the video. So right after I finished shooting the original, was at the range with a buddy of mine, and he actually experienced a squib load in his subcompact 45. So I wanted to quickly go through with you, show you what a squib is. This is the actual squib. It's a 45 caliber lead bullet, and this is the one that actually came out of the gun. This is the barrel from my Glock 30, and I'm going to try to recreate how it looked when we took the gun apart. Once we realized that the gun was ceasing to function, he stopped immediately and did not fire any more rounds. We broke the gun apart, and that's when we discovered the squib. So simply drop down the barrel like that. Once we determined it was actually a squib and there was a round in the barrel, simply took the rod that I keep in my bag and simply dislodged the bullet, and that's all there was to it. So I'm kind of glad it happened, so I was able to show you. No one was hurt, and so now you know how to deal with a squib load. Stop shooting, break the gun apart. If you're not sure how to break the gun apart, don't do anything and ask somebody for help. Alright, so let's get on with the rest of what's in the front part of the bag. I'll make this pretty quick, nothing spectacular in here. A couple of towels, contact towel, and I got it in a goodie bag at a match somewhere. Microfiber towel comes in handy keeping guns wiped down. Eye protection. I never know when you'll need extra eye protection for someone who happens to show up or forgets theirs. Let's see, targets. Here's some snap caps. These happen to be 9mm snap caps. Keep in there. This stuff here is great. It's called Pro Grip, and I got it at Brownells, brownells.com. Cost me $6-7. And if you're shooting, in a match competition in the middle of summer, especially here in Florida, it gets pretty steamy. This will keep your hands dry. So this is almost invaluable if you shoot a lot during the summer. Let's see, Poor Man's target pasters, good old painter's tape. Some actual target pasters that I got somewhere. I always keep a timer in the bag. A lot of the drills we run have time goals, and so I always keep a timer in the bag. Since I do shoot 1911s occasionally, I like them dripping wet, and so I make sure I keep some gun oil in my bag all the time for my 1911s. I always keep a multi-tool in the bag. This happens to be a fairly inexpensive tool. It's got a set of needle nose pliers which comes in handy for pulling staples and replacing and repairing targets. Got a couple of knife blades. I've had this thing for about 20-25 years. I think maybe longer than that, because I think I got it when I was still living in Miami, which was eons ago. Hex wrench. My Springfield 1911 has to be taken down with a hex wrench. That's the one right there. So I always keep that in the bag. Got to have a stapler. So you gotta stapler is almost as important as having the gun with you. Let's see, staples. Again, another benefit of eating a lot of peanut butter. I keep my staples in a small peanut butter jar, and I probably bought this small peanut butter just so I could fit my staples in it. But Keep the staples in there, keeps them dry. That cardboard box always gets destroyed pretty quick. Here's a couple of set of targets. Playing cards make great targets. I'm telling you, people like shooting these. It's a lot of fun. It's different than just plowing away at some big paper targets. And then these are popsicle sticks I keep in there. There's about 20 of them in there. Since my wife eats Weight Watchers chocolate popsicles, we have a lot of these sticks, so I have an endless supply of those. Yeah, I think that's about it. I've got some foam hearing protection, a magazine loader. Not a big fan of this, but the wife is, and sometimes it'll come in handy if you're loading a lot of magazines one day. So that's about all that's in my front of the bag. Nothing earth-shattering. I do want to allude to one thing that is not in the bag, but I always carry with me to the range is a medical kit. This is a put-together kit that I put together, and we'll probably talk about this more in next month's newsletter, which is going to be centering on gunshot wounds. So we'll talk a little bit more about what's in the kit. You should always take one to the range with you. So that's about it. Hope this helped you a little bit, be a little bit more prepared and productive at the range. Safety first, and if we can help you in any way, give us a shout. Be safe.
If you're ready, give me a nod. Stand by.
Got it.
We don't need this. I just say.